All right, Shalom. Before I get started, I want to say Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai. All right, all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakodash. All right, double honors to the elders at Great Millstone who taught me this truth. And Shalom, peace, blessing, safety to you brothers and you few sincere sisters out there, all right? So just real quick, just blowing the trumpet on this. This is a article from End Times Headlines. All right, it says, power cut off, patients locked up, and fines issued in efforts to snuff out spreading V to the iris in China. All right, so what does this remind you of? All right, it reminds you of the C-19er. All right, the incident that happened in 2020. Okay, it started in China as well. All right, so this is scriptural. You know, we know that we're heading into the time of Jacob's trouble, and the scriptures say that there will be pestilences. All right, so let's get this real quick. I just typed in pestilence, all right, in the KJV with the Apocrypha app, all right, KJVA Bible, and it says I scrolled down to these ones, particularly Matthew 24:7, Luke 21:11, which is basically saying the same thing, as well as 2nd Esdras 15:49. So let's get these scriptures from the Gospels first. All right, this is Matthew 24:7, speaking about the signs that are going to come upon the earth before our Lord Yahweh Shai returns. Okay, it says, this is our Lord speaking, Yahweh Shai is his name. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And we're seeing that right now, all right? All these wars, rumors of wars, all right, civil unrest, okay? And there shall be famines and pestilences. And pestilence means a sickness, okay? And earthquakes in diverse places. And we're seeing all these crazy earthquakes, all right, in diverse places, okay? Luke 21:11 says pretty much the same thing. It says, but a couple differences. It says, and great earthquakes shall be in diverse places. Yeah, and we're seeing that. All types of, they had that huge, 8.0 or 8.8 earthquake in Russia, all right, not too long ago, about a week ago, all right. All types of earthquakes in, Asia, Japan, all right. A lot of earthquakes in Japan. A few months ago, there was that real big one, I believe, in Thailand, where I think... I hate to, to make light of this, but I think 144 people were killed in it, it's 144, but yeah, a lot of earthquakes, all right, and famines and pestilences, meaning sicknesses, and fearful sights and great signs shall there be from heaven. And what's an example of that? All these chariot sightings, all right, all these chariots. Now, I'm sure you brothers, if the Lord has blessed you with seeing his angels like that, we've been seeing them a lot more, I just the other day, I saw one, the Lord's just showing his angels, he's having his angels swoop down and do little flights throughout the sky. They kind of flash their lights, jump in, jump out, those chariots jump from the third dimension, meaning this dimension, to the fourth dimension, the spiritual realm, they jump in and out of realms, I'm not trying to sound like a stand-up comedian here, all right? This is what they do. They can jump from the spiritual realm to the physical realm, all right? They are the Most High's technology, okay? They're the Most High's vehicles that he gave to his angels, all right? So you think they can't do that? Of course they can do that, all right? But, there's also, as far as the signs in heavens, you have the blood moons and, these big solar eclipses and stuff, all right? So that's another example of that, okay? Let's get 2nd Esdras 15:49. It says, I will send plagues upon thee, widowhood, poverty, famine, sword, and pestilence. All right, pestilence meaning disease. All right, to waste thy houses with destruction and death. Let's get, yeah. So that's what's gonna happen. All right, the Most High is gonna send, pestilences. All right, on this place, okay? So let's read a little bit of this article, and then we can close it out. Just blowing the trumpet on this, all right? I'm not saying that this is going to be, a move that the elite make, like the C-19er, but it could very well be, okay? because we know that ultimately the goal of the top wicked elite of Esau Edom is to push this micro CHIP. All right, they want to push this micro CHIP and force everybody to receive a grain of rice. All right, a piece of technology the size of a grain of rice. All right, in their hands or in their brains. All right, aka their foreheads. All right. All right, let's read this article. Officials across China have implemented C-era preventative measures across the country as I'm not even going to try and pronounce this. You see what it is. All right, virus outbreak continues to... Salakia. My bad, I'm sorry. V to the iris outbreak continues to spread. Over 7,000 cases have been reported in the southern city of Foshan, while 12 other cities in the Guangdong province have reported at least 3,000 cases, bringing the national total to over 10,000. As a result of the rampant spread, patients in hospital wards are being covered with mosquito nets and are required to remain there for a week or until they test negative for the V to the iris, if sooner. Okay, a chikungunya, all right, infection causes fever, joint pain, and in severe cases, life-threatening complications involving the heart and brain. All right, so the elite are up to something. Okay, the top wicked elite of Esau Edom, you better believe that they have a hand in this. All right, this does not just happen naturally. Okay, everything, the world is a stage. All right, and the physical counterparts of the spiritual demon Satan, the Edomites, the self-proclaimed white people, all right, which you're gonna have Edomites looking like everything, and you're gonna have Israelites that look like Edomites. All right, but nevertheless, in general, the so-called white race, all right, but especially the top banking families, the Rothschilds, all right, they are the physical counterparts to the spiritual demon Satan, all right, and the Rothschilds and the top wicked elite, they are controlling things. Okay, so this is part of their agenda. Okay, their agenda 2030. Which they're late on that. But they wanna force everyone to get that micro CHIP. That's the main point, and that's what everything is leading up to. All right, let's keep reading a little bit of this article. It says images show Chinese state workers spraying clouds of disinfectant around city streets, residential areas, and construction sites where people may come into contact with virus-bearing mosquitoes in or near standing water. Drones are being used to hunt down insect breeding grounds and spray insecticide, and residents are being asked to empty bottles, flower pots, or other outdoor receptacles that may collect water. Failure to comply with any restriction may lead to fines of up to $1,400 or 10,000 yuan. And locals can have their electricity cut off, according to state media. So they're not playing with these people. They can cut off your electricity, all right, for not complying with their orders. And we know China has a surveillance state. They have a social credit system, facial recognition, biometrics, all right. So that is what the elite want. They want to copy that plan, that mode of action that China, that way of operating that China has. That biotechnology, that surveillance state that they have. They want to bring that here, and they want to get every last person on planet Earth to take a microchip. Okay. While it's unclear exactly where the infection began, the V to the iris is now spreading across the world. So this could very well be like the C19er. Okay. And the C to the D to the C has issued a level 2 travel risk notice for Brazil, Colombia, India, Mexico, Nigeria, Pakistan, the Philippines, Thailand, and China. Okay. No deaths have been reported for those experiencing fevers, joint pain, or rashes. But those experiencing fever, joint pain, or rashes are being asked to visit the nearest hospital so they can be tested for the V to the iris. Okay. So they're not playing about this. Okay. This is spreading. All right. And it's part of the elite's plan. Okay. Chinese office employees have also been spotted spreading disinfectant around buildings before entering, a stark reminder of the controversial hardline tactics used by the country to control the C-19er pandemonic activity in 2020. Okay. Reports from local media have also emerged of attempts to stop the V to the iris spread by breeding fish that eat mosquito larvae and even larger mosquitoes to eat the insects carrying the V to the iris. All right, so this could very well be the next big thing. All right, this could very well play a hand in setting off Jacob's trouble. All right, so just keeping our eyes peeled, staying prayed up, praying to Yahweh Shem Yahushai to deliver us from these evils, deliver our families, our households. All right, pray that all the brethren get delivered. Pray that their families get delivered. Because things are heating up, man. All right, so I'm gonna say all praises to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the elders at Great Millstone who taught me this truth, and Shalom. Peace, blessings, and safety to you brothers and sisters out there. Shalom.